We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Kiss my ass.
They're criminals.
It is a hole. You ever been there?
He says what everyone else is thinking.
I'm dedicated to it. I can't be stopped.
Glory, glory, hallelujah!
Hi there. My name is the Motor City Madman. How are you doing out there? Welcome to the most controlled, organized, managed chaos in the history of the middle finger mankind celebration of truth, logic, common sense, we the people, Declaration of Independence. You know all the good stuff. Now, I would have said the good but here, let's talk about that. Welcome to the Real America Voice, Real America's Voice. Well, if it's the Real America's Voice, you would probably have the real voice of America, including harmless street terms. Like I'm gonna show you my new hat. This is such a cool hat. Now, we will have to probably censor this hat, but we allow the zombie devil snake who thinks he's the commander-in-chief to address the heroes of World War II D-Day, surrounded by American, Canadian, and English warriors who died for our freedom. That includes the First Amendment. So I love my Real America's Voice team, but if you have to censor this hat, you have to censor, see, I'm holding it steady, so they can do that little stupid, asinine, squiggly thing over the harmless term. By the way, no one has ever been hurt or compromised. No one has ever been harmed in any way. Their dreams, their adventures, their spirit has never been altered one bit by the word. You can't say that here, but you can show the devil snake zombie Joe Biden lying to the heroes of Normandy Beach on the 80th anniversary of D-Day. Think about that juxtaposition. Think of the dishonesty. Think of the pettiness. I can't think of anything more petty than sometimes people identifying, and Nugent's wearing Crocs. I can't believe he wears Crocs. They're not Crocs. And by the way, how did you even notice my shoes? How could that be a focus in anyone's life? See, I'm on a rant here. Welcome to the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire Rant America's Voice. Do you feel the spirit? By the way, I hope that guitar sounds as good there as it does in the Man Cave Cuckoo's Nest, because I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I wish I wrote the song Fire by Jimi Hendrix. You know, I'm going to have my guys insert the opening licks of Fire underneath this articulation of the incredible Jimi Hendrix. I used to know that lick. I was Mitch Mitchell on drums. Are you kidding me? Laid the foundation for all the greatest drummers in the world. You will hear Mitch Mitchell drum licks from all the greatest drummers in the world, like Jason Hartless and John Kutz and Denny Carmassi and Tommy Clefettos and Tommy Aldridge and Carmine Appice. By the way, we got a new song. It's an old song, an old Cactus song. See, I'm on an adventure here, a linguistic gymnastic outrage, because I'm going into all subject matters. But let's go back to the snake in Normandy. This Gibson Birdlander. Wow, I can hardly get next to myself. This is number 12. Holy smokes. Hey, Todd Carlson, can you tell me what year number 12 was? Barack. See, this is a special podcast. And since I'm the host of the podcast, you can refer it to as a pudcast. But anyhow, I'm drinking black. No, I'm not. I'm not drinking. I'm drinking Minutemen coffee. Barack. And this Truth, Logic, and Common Sense, as we celebrate the 35th anniversary of the Ted Nugent Camp for Kids nonprofit charity, graduating thousands of young boys and girls into the outdoor cleansing powers of God's miraculous natural creation as hands-on conservation. The Ted Nugent Camp for Kids, go to tednugent.com. And if you want to make a donation to save a kid's life and get them back on a true North Compass setting, we're going to South Dakota tonight to do a Friends of the NRA banquet and the 35th annual Ted Nugent Camp for Kids. Thank you, Paul Malone and Kevin Mark and Roger and Carol and Bruce Call and Ward Parker and all the volunteers. Look at those good-looking children. We sell out every year because the parents think I'm a good role model. You know why they think that? Because I'm a good role model. Clean and sober my whole life, and I only use the middle finger when absolutely necessary, which is about every 8 seconds in this day and age. But the Ted Nugent Camp for Kids in Yankton, South Dakota, with the great National Field Archery Association and the Easton National Field Archery Association Epicenter. I don't know who that is, but there's some good-looking kids, some good-looking volunteers. A big thank you and a prayer and a salute to all those kids. And you know, I have a hat called the Ted Nugent American Kicker, established in 1948, Truth, Logic, and Common Sense. And you know, I'm not going to use the street terms in front of the children, but if I were, it wouldn't harm anyone. Not only that, but is there a difference between the word and the word kicker? Because kicker is one word, and it just means working hard, playing hard, roustabouts to put our heart and soul into being the best that we can be so that we're in the asset column of the American dream for our family, our country, our fellow man, the good earth. I'm outraged. I'm an extremist. Minutemen Coffee. Ted Nugent Spirit. Look at that. That's Herb Ellison. We're talking about the 80th anniversary of D-Day. Herb Ellison, 100+ years old, just died last month. Herb was a survival of Pearl Harbor, and I've spent campfires with survivors of the Bataan Death March. And that any American doesn't know what the Bataan Death March is, shame on you. Shame on the school system. Shame on the parents. Would you please teach your children and each other that the evil Japanese slaves, they were slaves to the god, the emperor. Oh, he's a god. No, he's not. He's a punk ass. He's not a god. He no gods. We're all equal men spiritually. And then it all managed what we do with our equal spirit. Some people turn into Hunter Biden dope scum, and some people turn into Detroit Muscle Motor City madmen, having an annual Ted Nugent Camp for Kids charity, cleansing the souls of young people, as brought to you by the freedoms that is unique to the American dream, based on God, family, country, Constitution, Bill of Rights, Ten Commandments, Golden Rule, Declaration of Independence, work ethic, that man in the arena, in the swirling dust of the storm of life. And we stumble, but we get right back and put our heart and soul back into being the best that we can be. And we improvise, adapt, and overcome. And we celebrate law and order. And that's what the Ted Nugent Camp for Kids celebrates and teaches these young people. But if you're young people, and if anybody in this world doesn't know what the Bataan Death March is, then you are not prepared for 9/11. 9/11 shocked you. It shouldn't have shocked you, because that's how evil our fellow man can be. Look up the rape of Nanking. Look it up. Well, I can't believe that people would do that to each other. Believe it. And Joe Biden is one of those evil devil snake scums who lied, claiming that a Donald Trump and that people want to stick to the Constitution and real law and order, not designated law enforcement against conservatives, but letting liberals and Democrats get away with murder and paying the bail for people who burn down cities on film. This Planet of the Apes cuckoo's nest stuff. It's the toilet zone. So we got less than 1 minute left on this first segment. Is this a roustabout? Is there anything else quite like this? I was on with Ed Henry on Newsmax yesterday. Thank you, Ed. And I get on with Eric Bolling. I get on with Tucker Carlson. I get on with Jesse Waters. And I know Greg Gutfeld really wants me on there because I'm funnier than all those guys, except for maybe Jim Brewer. He's really funny, Jim Brewer. I had Jim Brewer almost gagging to death, causing him to laugh so hard backstage at the Naples Hurricane benefit. Because everything I do is qualifies as a hurricane benefit. In fact, I'm going to be at the National Rifle Associate's Friends of the Banquet tonight and tomorrow in Yankton, South Dakota with the Ted Nugent Camp for Kids charity. Thank you, everybody, for your support. We got less than 10 seconds left, and I'll come back with more truth, logic, and common sense and fire-breathing A-10 warthog of goodwill and decency. I'm an extremist. Count me in. It is so much fun.